Hello and welcome to today's presentation. My name is Jason Fladlien, and I'm going to be walking you through how to create a profitable business on Amazon. My business partner and co-founder of Rapid Crush Inc., Wilson Matos, is also here, and you might hear from him later on today if we have time, we'll answer some questions and provide additional insights to you since we've been kind of doing this thing for a while. We've kind of mastered it, which is great because when we started selling on Amazon, this was like in 2013. That was way back when. These days, I think you would agree with me that traditional retail is essentially dying. And in 2017, there was more corporate bankruptcies declared in a single year than in the history of retail. In 2018, they're already off to a really good start. So as people quit spending money offline, they spend money online. And where do they spend money online? Well, you know the answer to that. 25 cents of every single dollar that goes through the internet goes through Amazon. And it's not like Amazon has hit like the peak of what they can do. Amazon grew by over 20% last year. It's one of the biggest growth periods they've ever had in the history of the company. And a lot of this has to do with Prime, Amazon Prime. So where are my Prime members at? If the chat is active for you, I'd love for you to type in me or yes if you have a Prime membership. And I know most of you do, because simply most people do. Here are the statistics on that. In the US, now by the way, there's worldwide that you can tap into Amazon, but I'm getting ahead of myself here, is 63% of Amazon households in the US have an Amazon Prime membership. So about half of the US population goes to church, about half of them still have a landline phone, less than half, 44% own a gun. About half the households in the United States put a Christmas tree up a year, but almost 2/3 of them have an Amazon Prime membership. Now, how do you sell to Amazon Prime members? Because they are the most lucrative, easiest to sell to, happiest to buy, simplest to purchase from because they can one click or no click buy from you if they were going to buy off a device where they can talk to it. How do you do that? Well, there's one way and there's only one way to make that happen, and that's through a thing called Fulfillment by Amazon. So essentially, Amazon allows any person who wants to sign up with Amazon the ability to send in a product to Amazon, have it be listed on Amazon, and then when a customer purchases it from Amazon, Amazon will send it over to that customer and give you a biggest chunk of the money. Amazon will take a little bit, Amazon will give you the rest. And this is brilliant because if somebody on Amazon buys your product and they have a Prime membership, that means they will get your product in 2 days or less for free. Where else on the internet is that possible? And the answer is nowhere. That's why more and more really smart people who want to create a part-time income or a full-time income are using Amazon. Now, when it comes to using Fulfillment by Amazon, it works like this. Amazon Prime members can see your products, purchase your products, get the products in 2 days or less, free shipping. People can buy your products with one click or even zero click via Alexa. And you also tap into this trust, which is really important when people want to buy stuff from strangers online. Amazon is the most trusted brand online in the whole world. So if you sell on Amazon, you essentially get that trust as an extension. Now, because of this, there is no better way I've found for anyone to go from nothing to a lot of money and a lot of freedom in a short period of time, essentially with zero risk. How does that sound to you, by the way? To be able to go from wherever you're at financially to where you want to go, get there quicker and get there without risking a tremendous amount of time, a tremendous amount of money, and a tremendous amount of pressure. Doesn't that sound great? Well, I'm here today to help you get started successfully selling on Amazon. And who am I? My name is Jason Fladlien. I'm the father of 3 beautiful, healthy children. I am a university dropout. I went to one semester at Iowa State. And then I also discovered the process for being successful on Amazon. And it's simpler than you think. And really, when I wanted to make money online, it looked like this. Here's where I started my first online business in 2007 in a little town called Muscatine, Iowa, in this apartment, which I shared with my dad. And I became fascinated with making money online. The first money I made online was November 12th, 2007, a whopping $4, $3.58 after you take out the processing fees. And I said, okay, I finally did it. I made some money online and let me figure out all the different ways possible that I can go from zero to a millionaire. And I did that in a few short years. I actually was a cash millionaire, still am, where I could write a check for $1 million and it would cash. That's what that means. And the beautiful thing about making money online, once you stumble upon some things that work, you can really make them expand. So to go from a millionaire to a multimillionaire, absolutely possible. Now, I wish I would have known about Amazon sooner, and I wish I would have had some of the resources I'm going to talk to you about here today. But the reality is, I've been able to try everything online, a lot of it with success, help a lot of people do that as well. I've worked with some amazing people. We've done stuff with Tony Robbins. We've done stuff with Larry King. I've done it all, and I'm going to tell you this straight once and for all, nothing beats Amazon, period. And nothing beats Amazon with this specific process that I'm here to show you on this webinar today. It starts with selecting the right type of product to sell on Amazon, how to source that to get that product from whoever's manufacturing it to Amazon, out the door from Amazon to the customer, what you need to do to list that product on Amazon, because there's some simple things that you can do that almost nobody does, that as soon as you immediately list your product on Amazon, you can pretty much expect sales to come in. And then this is my favorite thing, how to launch the product. So you can go from an unknown, obscure, I'm just beginning, to having thousands and thousands of Prime members see your product, one-click purchase it, and get it in 2 days, 1 day, or even a couple hours after buying it off the Amazon app, the website, or however they find it. Now, here's what's great about this process. This process can be done anywhere in the world. So here's Basa Viraj. He's one of our students, and you're going to see a lot of our students that I'm going to show you throughout today that have been successful. These are every single person who's went through our specific process. And these are individual people that we have worked with over the years. So Basa Viraj, for example, he started his business 85 days after he started his Amazon business, never had an experience before. He made his first sale, and he says technically it was 54 days because he had some issues, but I won't get into that, right? He started his business while on a health mission in a conflict zone in the country of Libya. So he had slow, irregular internet. The power kept going on and off. Now, Basa Viraj is originally from India, so his company's out of India. His bank's in India. He's working in Libya. His product comes from China, and he sells it on the United States on Amazon.com. That's 4 countries in this whole mix here. The beautiful thing about this is it doesn't matter where you're at, as long as you have the internet, then you can make it go at this. So this can be done anywhere in the world. That's because Amazon does all the heavy lifting. They pick the orders for you, they pack the orders for you, they ship the orders for you, and again, Prime members get 2 day or less free shipping. How do you get paid? This is one of my favorite parts. You get paid directly into your bank account. I want you to get addicted to seeing screenshots like this, or should I say emails like this, show up every 2 weeks. For each account that you have that you sell on Amazon, for each whatever business you want to spin up, you will get an email that looks like this. And this is actually one of our Amazon businesses where you can see in the span of a single month, we got paid directly to our bank account from Amazon, $24,000, $26,000, $24,000 again. That's $75,000 in a 30-day period just from one Amazon business. So can this be done no matter where you're at? Certainly. We've had people start this who've had aspirations of traveling the world. They started from wherever they were, and then they built a 7-figure Amazon business traveling the world. So that's possible. Now, can it be done part-time? Certainly it can be done part-time. In fact, now this isn't a typical scenario, and I don't want you to try to go out and accomplish this, but here's Mario. And Mario started with us, and he says, I didn't really do anything at first due to my high demanding full-time job. My product went live about 5 weeks. The only thing I'm doing is Amazon and Facebook ads, no coupons, no freebies. And he's a 6-figure business in the first 30 days. Again, I don't want you to think that you're going to be able to go out and do that immediately, but sometimes you can because of the power of Amazon. Less important is how big of a number he made. More important was this is a guy who's a college administrator, essentially, works a full-time, high demanding job, yet can still make this work. Unfortunately, a lot of these other opportunities to really start making some money online or having another stream of income coming into your life, they just require you to have another full-time job. And the beauty of Amazon is that's not the case, as you'll see throughout the day here today. The process I'm about to break down for you, it doesn't take much to get started in terms of working capital or in terms of resources that you have on hand. So Raul, who lives about 15 minutes away and is a friend, and we very much told him, hey, listen, you should do this if you're serious about making a difference in the type of money you can make in your life. And this is how Raul started his Amazon business in his own words. He says, my first purchase from my supplier cost me just under $700. It wasn't huge, but it was around Christmas, so things were really tight. Once I got past Christmas, I was ready. I just picked a product. The truth is, I probably could have been up and running in 6 weeks. Because of those reasons, it took me a little longer. And then shortly after that, rolls in $24,000 a month. He's gotten up to much more than that. Okay, but here's a guy who barely had enough funds to put together to make his first purchase of his products to sell on Amazon, $700. So he had to wait a little bit longer. But the point of it is sometimes you might have to wait a little bit longer, but it doesn't take much to get started. This isn't like franchises that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, or real estate or stock market investments. It doesn't take much to make much. The process begins with selecting the right product. So let me share with you some of the ways that you can pick the right products that incredibly turn the tides in your favor when it comes to success with selling your products on Amazon and making some serious money. Now, here's what's important about understanding this product selection part of the process is the more customers there are who want to buy your products on Amazon, the less work you have to do. As simple as that. The sweet spot when you're looking to pick your Amazon products is those products that a lot of customers want, but not a lot of other sellers are offering. And you would be shocked at how often that's the case. In economics, they call this supply and demand. What happens when there's a lot of demand, but there's a little supply? Everything that we teach and everything that we do on Amazon is meant to find that for all these customers who are looking for something and so few people being able to give it to them. If we can solve that problem, Amazon will put that product in everybody's hands, and we can sit back and we can laugh all the way to the bank. Now, beyond knowing supply and demand, it's just math. We got to make sure we get the products for the least amount of money and we sell them for the most amount of money. And we'll break down a little bit more of that. Before we get into some of the specifics there, let me be very clear on the types of products you will be selling on Amazon. These are products that we call private labeled physical products. Now, there are a lot of different ways that you can make money on Amazon. You can resell other people's products and you can do drop shipping and all this crazy stuff, right? I have found, based on trying everything possible and based on having so many customers that we've walked through the Amazon process over the years, this is by far the best way. And so what does that mean? What does private label mean? Well, sometimes it literally means a label. So the same manufacturer could make 4 different brands be able to sell on Amazon, even if it's the same exact vitamin D3 capsule. But because each one has their own unique label, they have their own brand, their own product, and they can sell it on Amazon. So when I talk about private label, I'm talking about whatever product that you wish to sell, slapping a label on it. Having somebody else manufacture it, you put a label on it, send it to Amazon, you're good to go. All right. Sometimes it's not the label, sometimes it's a logo. It could be the exact same product that everybody else is selling, but the only difference is you put your logo on it, or you have the manufacturer, I should say, put your logo on it, and boom, off to the races. Now you say, Jason, why would I sell the exact same product as everybody else? Well, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But the reality is, when private label, we just talk about a slight differentiation to an everyday product that people are just looking to buy on Amazon, and now you have your own private brand, your own brand of product that you sell on Amazon. It could be the packaging, or it could be a combination of label, package, logo, slight customization. Everybody else is red and you're green, whatever the case is. More important than what exactly is private label, because I think that makes sense, doesn't it, is why private label. This is why this is so important. This is where everybody messes up, because somebody tells them, oh my God, Amazon is the #1 way people are becoming millionaires from scratch these days. It's the #1 best new business that exists that nobody's ever heard of. And everybody goes off and gets excited and they do Amazon the way everybody else does Amazon. And guess what happens when you do what everybody else does? You get the results everybody else gets. We're not into getting ordinary results. We're into getting extraordinary results. So here's why we private label. Take a look at this pencil sharpener. Now, this is from a brand called X-Acto. And I'm sure you've probably heard of this brand, haven't you? Because there's like X-Acto knives and X-Acto pens. And X-Acto is a well-known brand. So once upon a time, it was to your benefit to sell a well-known brand, because nobody knows who you are. Nobody's heard of you, but they've heard of this brand. So because you're leveraging somebody else's brand, you just have to sell the product. That's the theory, right? And that worked really good until the internet was invented. Now the only brand people care about is Amazon. So we don't have to worry about selling anybody's well-known brand. And it's true, you can sell, or what they call resell, existing brands, pretty much an unlimited number. The way that the laws work is you can sell almost anybody else's product. You can resell it if you acquire it by the proper means. But here's what it looks like if you do that on Amazon. So on Amazon right now, currently as we speak, or at least when I took that screenshot, there are 80 other sellers selling this pencil sharpener. However, Amazon only allows one listing per product. So we have 81 sellers on a single listing fighting over what's called the buy box, which is the default seller that is put into place when somebody clicks buy. And one seller is going to make nearly 100% of the sales. This is why you don't want to resell products on Amazon, because, hey, if you're lucky enough to get into the buy box, which means you discount it essentially to the lowest price possible, you might make sales until somebody else undercuts you. You're fighting with 80 other sellers to fight over a single sell. It's just not the way that you should do business on Amazon, when instead you could private label a product and be the only one selling it because it's your brand and you own the buy box completely when you're starting off in your Amazon business. This is why we private label. We don't sell other people's brands because we don't want to. People are not really looking for brands on Amazon so much as they're looking for solutions, and they use search phrases to find those solutions. And then because they trust Amazon, they see your product. If they're Prime members, they click it, they purchase it, they get it in 2 days with free shipping. So when somebody buys your product on Amazon, how much can you expect to put in your pocket, or how much can you expect to make? And you're often going to hear this term profit margin being thrown around. So Pablo, one of our clients that has started really killing it on Amazon when he joined up with us, he has profit margin around 40%. Now this is pretty impressive because Pablo sells $500,000 worth of product per month on Amazon. And I believe when he hit this figure, he'd been in business less than 2 years. He's a 32-year-old kid, right? And so, yeah, you could expect 40% profit margin. So for every dollar you make, or every dollar you sell on Amazon, 40 cents goes in your pocket, right? And that's on the low end. I've seen people like Sean and Kelly, who started out with us, made $50,000 in their first 30 days selling on Amazon. They call me really Superman in their eyes with one product, right? 45% profit margin. So in their particular case, every time they make a dollar sale on Amazon, they put 45 cents in their pocket. Now, Zen Team, here's somebody else that started with us, just hit 15K. Now, here's what's interesting about Zen Team. He had never invested in any business training program or any type of information product before. It was the first thing he ever did. He was in 15,000 in 30 days, and now he puts 50 cents of every dollar that he sells on Amazon into his pocket. So this is what I always like to think. I don't like to think in terms of profit margins because you can't cash those in at the bank. So I think if this product sells for $10 on Amazon, I'm going to put about $4 to $6 in my pocket. If my product sells for $15 on Amazon, I'm going to put $6 to $9 in my pocket every time somebody buys that. If this product sells for $20, I'm going to put about 10 bucks in my pocket, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense? So if you sell your product for $30 on Amazon, you can put about $15 in your pocket every time somebody buys that from you on Amazon. Now, a lot of people get excited because there are products on Amazon that sell thousands of units a day. Can you imagine that? Where you put 10 bucks in your pocket every time somebody buys your product and the product sells 10,000 units a month, or let's just say 1,000 units a day, right? That's just 300,000 a month. And you've seen people that have done that and more that have come through our process here. Now, it's nice to want to aspire to this whole massive, let's get rich overnight, but I recommend, I'm cautious of that approach. I prefer the crawl before you walk approach. And again, I always go back to my friend here, Raul. So Raul is a full-time nurse, going back to school part-time to get his bachelor degree, has 4 kids, very active in his local community, in his church. And he started off with a much simpler approach, is what I recommend for most of you. And this is what Raul says. Because when we first started selling on Amazon, we documented exactly the product we selected, how we selected it, how we got it private labeled, how we came up with our business name, how we put it on Amazon, and how we got it going and became successful with it. So Raul says it right here. He says, I tell you what really helped me is when the ongoing results of your first product. The product ranged anywhere from a bestseller ranking of 2,000 to 10,000. We'll talk about bestseller rank here in a second, right? So that's not very good, just to let you know. A bestseller ranking on Amazon of 2,000 to 10,000 is nothing to be excited about. But Raul continues. While your product ranged in there, you were still making anywhere between 5 to 34 sales a day, depending on where you were. Now, Raul set a goal, and I recommend every single one of you set a goal on what you would consider a successful month on Amazon when you're just starting. So Raul set a very simple goal. He says, I just need to make 3 sales a day, because if he makes $15 per sale that he puts in his pocket, he makes 45 bucks a day. If he does that for 30 days, he makes about $1,500. $1,500 per month is life-changing for a lot of people, especially if you only work 1, 2, 3 hours a week to make that money, right? He says, I only needed 3 sales a day, which meant that I could find a product in the bestseller range in the thousands, 5,000, 7,000, 2,000, 10,000, and it would meet my goal. That was not hard to find because it's untapped territory. So let me be very clear with you right now. Most people have no idea how to search and find these obscure products that make 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 sales a day. These are the types of products I love to have you start with because they require almost no work to get going. And I'm going to tell you, what would life be like if you automatically started making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 more per month and you were only putting in 2, 3, 4, or 5 more hours per week to make that money? That would be life-changing, wouldn't it? Now, here's the beautiful thing. With Amazon, you don't have to guess how well a product is or isn't selling. There's this concept called bestseller rank. And in order for you to understand bestseller rank, so you can make these really good decisions on here's a product a bunch of people are buying, but nobody else is selling. So if I just list it, I can make a serious upgrade to my finances, right? To understand bestseller rank, understand this. Amazon is divided into top level categories. Now, there are more top level categories than I'm showing on my screen right here, but these are the top level categories where we have produced a student from scratch and made them a millionaire in their Amazon business. And so these are the categories I recommend that you play in when you're starting on Amazon. Now, when you get some success, you can break the rules and do whatever you like, right? But start here, if you would, for me. Is that cool? So these are the categories. All of these are what I refer to as top level categories. So baby's a top level category, pet supplies is a top level category, and so on. So now that you're in a top level category, so let's say we're in the top level category of pet supplies. In that category, Amazon will tell you, here's the #1 bestseller in pet supplies. Here's #2, here's #3, all the way down to the very last seller of pet supplies. So they will even rank the person who hasn't sold one for the last 4 years. They sold one 4 years ago. They say that person is a bestseller rank in pet supplies for that product of 2,174,316. Okay. Now here's what's great about bestseller. When is it updated? Straight from the horse's mouth. The Amazon bestsellers calculation is based on Amazon.com sales and is updated hourly to reflect recent and historical sales of every item sold on Amazon.com. So I can look at any listing and know how many sales, pretty much down to the exact number that product has done in the last hour. Are you getting excited about what I'm talking about here? We don't have to guess. We know directly. People are buying this thing. If I put that thing out there myself with my own brand and do a couple little tricks to show Amazon to send some people my way, guess what they do? They do that, and then you do a couple other tricks I'm going to show you, and all of a sudden you say, whoa, that's how people are being so successful on Amazon. So let's do a real world example so you can see where this is at, because this is public information. Anybody can find it, but sometimes the best secrets are hidden in plain sight. So here's a resistance band set. And if you were to scroll down this listing, you're going to see this section called product details. And kind of hidden obscurely in product details is a thing that says Amazon bestseller rank. So this product is number 588 in sports and outdoors. So in that hour, that last hour, when I took this screenshot, this was the 588th best-selling product in this specific category of sports and outdoors. What does that mean? Well, depending on time of the year, that could mean 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 sales a day or more. It means that this one product is making tens of thousands of dollars a month in net profit for whoever's selling it. And this is really exciting. Now, 588, even though it's an okay bestseller rank, I would recommend you look to find products that you could do and put on Amazon that are even a higher number than that, because a little bit goes a long ways. So let me show you an example of some easy profit streams. Using any number of tools that are available, some free, some paid. A lot of them were guys that started with us that developed these tools to kind of be able to crunch some numbers and spit out a product and say, this is a good product to sell. Let's take a look at this. So this is a floor mat. So this has a bestseller rank in the baby category of 1,795 when I took this screenshot. It has a rating of 3.9 stars. That means this product is not very good. Because if you're like in the 3s on Amazon, that's hard to do because most people have a 4, 4.5 rating, right? And this thing makes about 15 sales a day. It's only got 25 reviews, so it's not even that new of a product. If you were to get a 40% profit margin, which is probably on the low end, you should be able to do 50 or 60%. This means you're putting $1,908 in your pocket every single month. And the cool thing about Amazon is once you get a product going, it tends to go and keep going on its own. This is why people are able to do this, even if they don't have a lot of time and they can't work on it day to day, right? Let's look at another product. These are silicone skins. Silicone skins that you put on the bottom of like camera tripods and stuff. And here's what I like about this product. It has 0 reviews, yet it's making 7 sales a day. Wouldn't you like to sell a product where existing products that are like it are already making 7 sales a day with no reviews? What does that tell you? It tells you people very much want to buy this on Amazon, yet whoever's selling it isn't necessarily doing a good job. And this product with a 40% profit margin, which is on the low end, can make you $1,872 month in and month out for a very long time to come. Here's a hula girl, one of those things you put on your dashboard. This has a 10,000 bestseller rank in home and kitchen. That means that in the last hour, there was over 10,000 products that sold better than that. And yet it can make you $1,824 a month in your pocket. I'm talking profit. I'm talking, this is the kind of stuff that you can take vacations with and buy other cars with or upgrade your home with, right? Here's a leather sheath, same thing, 6,000 bestseller rank, $1,500 a month profits. Horse oil, I don't even know what that is, 9,835 bestseller rank in beauty, and you can make about $1,680 per month. The real question is how much can you make? The real question is how much do you want? Because I recommend you hunt your first product to kind of match what you would like to start making per month. Not like what you would keep making, because if you can do it once, you can do it more than once, can't you? I would rather have 10 products that make $10,000 a month than one product that makes $100,000 a month. Because I would rather just keep repeating this over and over again. So if you say, Jason, I want to start making $5,000 a month, okay, you could sell like a mold test kit. Here's something with 3.3 reviews, average rating. This is not even a good product. People don't like this product. It's got bad reviews, still makes 7 sales a day because people desperately want it. So they're willing to buy a product even if it's not that good. We have the data to prove that. $5,000 a month, right? These stainless steel type of kitchen things that sell 8,000 bestseller rank, not that great of a seller, sells 8 a day, makes $5,800 a month. A pusher shovel, kind of same concept here, $5,000, even though it's, there's 5,000 other products that sell better than that in the category of patio, lawn, and garden alone. Circuit analyzers, 3,000 in automobile category, makes about 5,000 a month, and just on and on and on. It's 5,000 a month. Here's the thing. This is why I always recommend when you start selling on Amazon, you pick products that you think will only make 3 or 4 or 5 sales a day. Because unlike everything else out there that is overhyped and under-delivered, everybody underestimates how big truly Amazon is. So they go out there and say, I'm going to pick a product that only sells a couple of units a day because I'm just getting started. There's no competition for this product. Essentially, if I just list it, I'll probably make a couple sales a day. They go out there and they do that, and time again, I see things like this happen. So here's Stefano, one of our clients. He starts and he says, I had my first organic sale the second day I went live. So what that means is he just put his product on Amazon, did nothing but list his product, no reviews, no feedback, nothing. And then all of a sudden, he just had people start buying his product to the tune of $10,000 per month. So accidentally, I should say that in quotes, accidentally, he started selling 11 units per day simply just by listing it on Amazon. And I'm not saying you should build your whole life around hoping that that happens. I definitely recommend you take some responsibility and do some things to help stack the deck in your favor. But I'm just trying to impress upon you, you can take a simple product that you think, yeah, make a couple sales a day, list it, and be pleasantly surprised because everybody underestimates how big Amazon truly is. And it continues to get bigger each and every day. So here's another example with Helen. So Helen joined us. She says, this group and training has been the best, most open and informative training I've ever been a part of. So she launched her product in 30 days. What she did was essentially she picked a simple product, gave away 100 of them for practically nothing to show Amazon that people were using her product, that they liked it, et cetera, et cetera. And in 30 days, she's averaging 16 units per day in sales, and she's selling over 6,000 pounds, because you don't just sell on Amazon.com. You can sell all over the world if you wish to. Not a bad deal, right? Now, Eric's another one. This is a guy working a full-time job, and he's selling 43 units per day, making $25,000 in sales per month, because everybody underestimates how big Amazon is. So I would recommend you start small and simple, and then be surprised when you make more than you expected to make. It's kind of like giving yourself a pay raise one day, a bonus, if you will. Because here's the reality. When it comes to selling on Amazon, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of products that are available for more than one seller to make a fortune with. There's new product opportunities every single day that are popping up on Amazon because customers want new things every single day. And oftentimes you can do really well in spite of yourself. This isn't one of those deals like a lot of these other things that you've probably tried in the past to make money with, where everything has to be perfect in order for you to be successful. Everything here can get broken and you can still be successful and do so in a short period of time with this process. So far we talked about selecting products. We look at products that have bestseller ranks between a certain range, that have a certain amount of profitability to them, and then we work backwards. You say, I want to start and I want to sell $2,000 per month that I'm putting in my pocket. Okay, good. Once we pick 1 or 2 or 3 of those products to go with, now it's time to source them. Then we'll list them and then we'll launch them. So let's talk about how we source these products. Because you say, Jason, this sounds fantastic. I would love to learn how to sell my own mold kit or my own replaceable silicone skins that you can put on the back, the bottom of camera tripods. How do I go about doing that? How do I actually get those products from point A to point B, being Amazon, and then point C being the customer? So what is sourcing? What are we talking about exactly? Sourcing is, if I could define it for our purposes, is this. It's finding a manufacturer who specializes in creating products for the sole purpose of putting your label and your branding on those products. They don't want to sell to the end customer. They don't want to do retail, as we call it in the business, right? They would rather just build factories, and they're more interested in the manufacturing process. So they will create these nondescript products of all sorts of varieties, waiting for people like you and I to call them up and say, slap my label on it and send it to Amazon on my behalf. And businesses work that way from the beginning of time and will continue to work that way forever and ever. So you say, Jason, where do I get these products? Who are these types of manufacturers? Well, there's 2 places you can get these products from. You get them from the US or you get them from China. I will tell you, 90% of the people we work with get their products from China. Not only is it easier and cheaper, oftentimes it's faster, believe it or not, to get the product from China on Amazon.com and selling than it is to do it in the United States. Now, if you say, I have a moral objection to selling from products that I'm sourcing from China, I only want to source them in the USA, Jason, sure, we can do that. It doesn't really matter. I'll get a product from Mars if the opportunity was good enough. If I can say, look at the demand on Amazon, look at the profit potential. I don't care where I'm getting it from. What I care is the bottom line of what it means. And here's what's important. Regardless of where you're going to source your products from, here are what you need to know in order to be successful. Because I've seen a lot of people who kind of went out on their own. One day they heard, hey, I can sell on Amazon. I'm just going to figure it out myself, which usually is not a good idea. Usually it's nice to have somebody in your corner helping you, isn't it? But they'd go out there and they would source these products and they would break some of these rules, and it costs them dearly. So let me give you some really good guidelines when it comes to sourcing your products. Is that cool? Okay, good. First thing is, and most important, low minimum order quantity. You don't want to start with 50 pallets worth of a product. There's 100 reasons why you wouldn't want to do that. First, it costs a lot of money to do that. Secondly, let's let the product make us profits that we can reinvest a portion to order more inventory with. Third, these are brand new suppliers. We've never worked with them. So let's just keep it simple and let's test it and get going with it. Does that make sense? And so we want to order, in some cases, 50 of a product or 20 of a product or 2 of a product or 100 of a product, whatever makes sense based on our budget and based on what we feel that product can do month 1. So is that possible? Certainly is possible. Now, I recommend you never put more than $1,500 into your initial order of inventory because you don't have to. Now, this is not a business that you can do with $0 and just get by purely on sweat equity. I don't think there is such a business, by the way, where that exists. I know there's a lot of people selling that idea, but it's a business. You got to put some money in to make it work, okay? So it's nice that today we can start physical product businesses and sell on Amazon for as little as $1,500 or even less. And that's important for you to understand, is we can always make the circumstance fit the opportunity. So if you say, Jason, I only got $622 that I can invest in my first private label product, done. It's not the product, it's the process. So let's just get you going, and then we can make money and reinvest it in that. But don't just take my word for it. Let me show you real world examples of the types of order quantity minimums that you can find when you go out there and start selling on Amazon. So here are those hula girls that I showed you earlier. So we can get started, minimum order 300 pieces, about 50 cents to 80 cents a piece, right? So, you know, 300 to 500, maybe $600 all in to get this product going. Here's another one. So here's 100 pieces, 23 cents a piece to $1 a piece. So you could get this product private labeled, sent to Amazon. These are no bark dog collars. You are in business with your own private label version of this product for $100. Here's the beautiful thing about this. A lot of people, when they hear this idea of selling on Amazon, they think they need tens of thousands of dollars to get the business off the ground. I just showed you a product that you could get started with $100 in terms of the product cost, and maybe throw in another 100 for shipping, and you're off to the races, right? Here's that sheath knife that we showed you earlier, was a good product, 10 pieces minimum order quantity. Isn't that crazy? Now they say 1 cent to 2 cents a piece. Here's the thing to know about this. These numbers aren't written in stone. These are just what they advertise on the website. Oftentimes you can get smaller orders than what they even say you can. And sometimes the price changes a little bit and you can negotiate that. It doesn't really matter though. Here's a bath mat, 500 pieces for $1 to $2 a piece. Here's a mouth guard. 1 box is the minimum order quantity, and you can get this for $5 to $7. So you can say, Jason, could I start a business and private label something for $7? Certainly. I don't recommend it, because as soon as you sell it, you're going to be out of inventory, but it's possible. The whole point of this to impress upon you, because here's another thing here, here's a portable shower for camping, you know, $8. Let's just say you pay per piece, 10 pieces minimum order quantity, $80. Double that for shipping. You're in this business for $160 or less. The point of this is this: there are plenty of products out there that are going to meet the criteria that says this is a really good product to sell on Amazon, has very little competition, has high demand, has great profit margins, and then you say, I can put this much into the product to private label it, get it sent from China to Amazon, and start making money with it. People like to make excuses. I much prefer and recommend you make money instead. And the point of it is, though, is we can make the circumstance fit the opportunities. But don't ever sell yourself short and say, well, I can't do this until I have that, until I have this. What you need is the process. Everything else is inconsequential. Now, here's what else to look for. So we start with minimum order quantity. The second most important concept is lead time. What is lead time? Lead time is the time between when you contact the manufacturer and when your product goes live on Amazon. So people, when they think of manufacturer, they think that they invent these products and then they have to come up with molds and injections and dyes and all this kind of stuff. It sounds a really long period of time, doesn't it? Well, let me just show you what it looks like in the real world if you know where to look and know what to do. So package and delivery for this product, 12 to 25 days, less than a month, right? Here's one, 15 days for this mini keychain torch. Here's one for these, like a golf swing deal, 15 to 25 days. Himalayan salt lamp, 5 to 7 days. So you could literally private label this thing and have it processed out the door to Amazon in 1 week. Here's another one, 3 days. Here's another one, 20 days. It's like a wine decanter or something like that, 15 to 25 days, 25 days. I recommend 30 days. I recommend you say, okay, it's going to cost a couple $100 to maybe $1,000 to private label my product, and it's going to take it 30 days from when I start to when it's live on Amazon. And you say, gee, Jason, I don't want to wait 30 days to make money. Well, here's the beautiful thing. There are things you can do and things we'll show you to do in between that while it's being sent over that can really allow you to put yourself in a position so the moment it hits on Amazon is the moment you start seeing sales. And by the way, if you need it done faster, there's always a way to get it there faster. Maybe sometimes it makes sense to air express ship it and pay a little bit more, but get it there even sooner The beautiful thing is you have choices, and we figured out all those choices for you, so that way you can do what it is the best thing is just find the right product and get it on Amazon and in front of people in record time. Then of course there's profit, right? We want to find products where we can put as much of the money in our pocket as possible every time it's sold on Amazon. And this was the hardest part, really, when we started on Amazon, because there's all kinds of concepts that you have to be aware of. There's the unit cost, which you'll get from your manufacturer, and the packaging cost and the shipping costs. They'll tell you those things. But then there's also these other things, like if you source it from outside of the United States, there's a merchandise processing fee that you might miss. There's import duties. And then Amazon has its own set of fees, miscellaneous fees, that are all imported into the spreadsheet for you, but they have a lot more than what are seen here, but you don't have to even calculate them. The beautiful thing here is you can plug in these numbers into a spreadsheet like this if you join our community, and it'll spit out and tell you exactly this is how much you're going to make, and then you can decide if it's a good deal or not. So for example, you say, I got a product, I'm going to sell it for $29.95. It's going to cost me this much from my supplier. I plug that in there. Amazon tells me that that product is going to be this much from their perspective, and then this is what I make. Question to you, is this good? If I sell a $30 product, if I every time make a sale, I put $16.10 in my pocket, I don't know about you, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And I don't really care about profit margin, whether it's 53% or 40 or 60%. I care about profit. And that's the last part of something that you should consider. I might be able to make more money selling this thing for 25 bucks than selling it for $30. Yes, I'll have a smaller profit margin, 45% as opposed to 53%, but I'll be making $200.03 a day as opposed to 193 cents a day. And so these are just really important for you to know when you're sourcing your product. What are you paying for it? What's the packaging cost? What's the shipping cost? What's the unit cost? What's Amazon going to take from it? And does it make sense to sell this? Because some products just don't have a profit potential that makes it worth it. So you got to be aware of that, right? And then there's the quality. People think all sorts of weird things about quality, like, oh, I don't want to sell junk. I don't want you to sell junk either. That's not a good idea. You want to sell something you can be proud of. I'm going to make that assumption. Is that correct, right? Now, here's the thing about quality. Quality is relative. So here's your goal with product quality. Your goal is to have as good or better quality than the highest rated product that sells for a similar price. So quality is related to price, and it's really easy to see who's selling what on Amazon and to find a manufacturer who can give as good a quality as something that already has 4.5 stars or 4.7 stars. Because really what you provide is an easier way for the customer to find and buy your product off of Amazon. Quality is quality. We're all going to get the same quality. The difference isn't the quality. That's figured out. The difference is understanding how Amazon works, so we can give Amazon what they want, and then they'll give us what we want, which is customers who can one-click purchase from us and money in our bank account every 14 days from the sales that we make. Now, where do we want to source? How do we find these manufacturers? You can use Google searches, you can use a site called Alibaba.com, or you can use a third-party procurement service. So Google is really simple. You plug in your product name and then add the words private label to it. So swim goggle private label. Another way you can find these is with a search like CoQ10 supplier, or you can puppy pads wholesale, or whatever the product is that you're interested in, and go through the Google search results, contact some of these websites, go from there. We typically almost never talk on the phone with these people until we're almost down to the point where we're ready to shake hands and go forward with it. It's all done via emails. That's pretty much it if you're going in the US, and that's where you would go if you were looking at Google. Alibaba.com is where you'd go if you're sourcing from China. The downside to this is everybody can go and find products off this site. So you don't have a huge advantage in some sort of secret source, but the upside is it's so incredibly easy. It's a search engine for private label products. So you type in whatever product you're interested in, you hit search, you then hit contact, and then you copy and paste an email that you write up into all these different people, and you go from there. I highly, highly recommend when you're starting to buy time by using a third-party procurement service. So we have one. We're not the only one. There's plenty of other ones that you can do where you essentially pay somebody a fee to go out and find the products for you and come back with price lists. This product costs this much. This is what the lead time on it. This product costs that much. This is what the lead time is on it. You're going to have to pay for this benefit, but the cool thing is you can work with experts who already know how to do this as opposed to going out and doing it on your own. It's kind of like paying somebody else to change your oil for you instead of trying to change the oil in your vehicle. Then you're going to also have to, because you're private labeling, get your product branded and designed. So how do you make that happen? Well, suppliers will say, we can do it for you for free. I don't recommend that. It's still better to not have, it's still better to have an option than no option at all, certainly, right? But you kind of get what you pay for. So if that's the only option you have, it's better than nothing. But instead, you can go to a site like Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr with 2 R's. And you could say, hey, I need this designed. And for as little as $5 to up to $250, that can be done for you. This is the most economical way of getting your branding and your design and your packaging done for you. But it also will take the most amount of back and forth on your end, right? Upwork.com is my preferred method. We go out there and for about $200 to $500, you get a super high quality, high skilled person. So you get a great quality and you don't have to spend a lot of time on it. And now some people prefer to crowdsource their design. And this one is really cool. It does cost the most amount of money though. And they hold a contest. 30 or 40 designers submit their design. You pick the one that wins and you award them the prize. To me, I don't really care which one you go with when you're starting. Let's just get it out the door. Okay, you don't have to be perfect to start, but you have to start to get really good and become perfect, right? And so just know that it's pretty simple and there's options for you based on your budget, based on your time commitments on getting your product branded, designed, and checked it off your list so you can go out there and do what really matters, which is sell it on Amazon and make that money. And that's the sourcing part so far. We've selected the product, we've now sourced it, and this is where we start to really make a difference when we list it and we launch it. This is where a little bit of secret sauce can go a long ways, if you will. And in order to understand how important this is, let me ask you this question. It's vital you understand this question. If you understand this, you'll get it. A light bulb will go off your head and say, ah, that's the real way that Jason's having all these people make money on Amazon. Here's the question. How does Amazon determine which products show up for each and every search performed on Amazon? So if I were to open up my phone, get on the Amazon app and, punch in Bluetooth speaker, how do they decide who shows up first for that search? Who shows up second, who shows up third, and so on and so forth? For every search and for every product, how does Amazon determines in what order products are listed? Well, there's a lot of factors. Probably thousands of them, maybe tens of thousands of them. There are a handful of factors that matter, about 4, 5, or 6 of them. And then there's one factor that matters more than any other one, and that's what we call keywords. So keywords are essentially what you put on your Amazon listing when you upload your product, and that tells Amazon, hey, consider me when somebody puts this into your search, or consider me when somebody's looking for this type of product. Now, it's funny because this seems obvious, this seems elementary, this seems simple, but so far, so many people neglect this. I guess they think this is like old school retail where you put something on a shelf and shelf space is important and location is important. But online, it's all about keywords. There are 2 places on Amazon because there's like 100 places where you could say, maybe I should put keywords here, there, here, there. There are only 2 places that matter, and this is where you should focus almost all of your effort on. If you do this little focus, you're going to get a lot of the reward because 99.9% of sellers on Amazon either don't know about this or are too lazy to take advantage of it. I don't know. 2 places are the following: your product title of your Amazon product and the search terms. Let's start with product title. So this is a really good example. This is a title I wrote to illustrate this point. Every listing on Amazon in each category has a limited number of characters that they can put in the title. Your goal is to extract the most amount of keywords within that limited space. Now, the average Amazon seller puts about 3 to 4 unique keywords in their title. So what do you think happens when you come out and put 27 keywords in there? Because every single one of those in this title that I wrote, I know will make me money month in and month out. Wireless, Bluetooth, speaker, power, sound, portable, work, best, iPhone, iPad, etc., right? It's kind of like typing a word and make money. Not just once, but make money day in and day out. So the first thing is, if you do a little bit of extra work, you can get a lot more results than what everybody else is getting by simply looking at what are all the keywords that everybody's putting in their listing and take the best of the best across 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 listings and kind of crunch them all together on your one listing. Now you say, Jason, that sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, it's 3 to 4 hours. Is 3 to 4 hours worth of effort? Okay, if that means a lifetime of financial freedom. Now, most people are going to be penny wise and pound foolish. Their loss, your gain. So that's the first place. So this is customer facing. So you can see these. The second place is in the back office. So when you start selling on Amazon, you create this thing called a Seller Central account. You sign up through Amazon. You can do it essentially for a free trial. Then you're going to want to upgrade to professional when it makes sense too. And in your back office, when you go to list a product, it's really simple to list a product. You just fill out some form fields. I mean, Amazon's got this down to a science. And there's this one tab for your product listing called keywords. And this one is very interesting because not all is what it appears. And Amazon doesn't make this clear. And the only way we find this out is essentially the same way that you would crack a safe. Try a number, see what happens. Oh, that didn't work. Try another combination, see what happens. Oh, that didn't work. Try another combination, and after 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 times, you say, oh, that's the combination. So here's an example. This is the most important field ever that you should be concerned with in the back office when you list your Amazon product. It's called search terms. Now, search terms as a field has went through 5 major changes in the last 4 years. So it's also important that you stay up to date on this stuff. It doesn't change that often if you think about it. Once a year, big deal, right? There used to be 5 fields that you would fill out for search terms, and you used to be able to put 1,000 characters per field. And even then, we discovered they didn't read them properly. Now Amazon's got a new policy, 250 bytes, which is not the same exact thing as a character. But here's the beautiful thing. You want to use exactly 250 bytes. If you use 100 bytes, then you miss out on 50% of the additional sales that you could otherwise make. But here's the other thing. If you put in 251 bytes, Amazon deletes every entry in that search term field. And I will tell you, there are so many sellers last year who are doing really well that are not aware of this new policy, that are not aware of this new change. And now they're losing out and they're wondering, why did I lose all these sales? And then my new sellers are coming in because they listen to me and they're putting in 250 bytes of information into one field on Amazon, and they're making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars per month per product, okay? That's one of the weird things about Amazon. This is why I never really get excited about somebody who says, I'm gonna go figure this out on my own, Jason, because I'm like, why you wanna invent the wheel again? Just there's some little kind of nuances that you can, it's not that this is hard, wouldn't you agree with me? This is pretty simple. It's just that, now you might say, well, what's a byte? And I'm gonna tell you, because it's not, a character isn't a byte, but that's a different conversation for a different day. We show our members exactly how to put in an entry that will automatically comply with 250 bytes and be your best search terms. But then you say, well, Jason, what about this field? This has got to be great, right? Worthless. Platinum keywords for you and for me and for everybody besides about 100 businesses that exist online, they do nothing. So this is a waste of time. So if you say, I'm going to save some keywords for the platinum keywords field, you actually hurt yourself because you should be putting those elsewhere. But at the same time, it's a waste of time, right? Now you say, well, what about subject matter? Yeah. Now I know this doesn't make sense, but you want to put your number one thing that you would like to show up the biggest and most prominent for on Amazon. You put that here, even if you've used it elsewhere. And then other attributes. Like, what is that? How? Why, Jay? I don't know why. Don't need to know why. It just is. And so there's all these little kind of nicky-nacky things that if you add up all these little hinges, they swing the biggest doors. And this is some of the stuff that hopefully you want to join us here at the end, where I'm going to show you the special offer of getting involved in our community, and then we share all these secrets with you. But the cool thing is, whether you do join or don't join, you're now getting a better understanding of this is how Amazon determines when I search for something, who puts it up there. It's not by who sells the most product or who has the most reviews or who's been there the longest. Number one consideration is who has went the extra mile to tell and inform Amazon, hey, consider me for this word, consider me for this search, consider me for that phrase, et cetera, et cetera. Bottom line is as simple as I can put it is this: keywords equal money. The higher you show up for a search and or the more searches you show up for, the more money you make. Now here's the real question. Would you rather have a product that makes 40 sales a day off of one search phrase? Or would you rather have a product that makes 1 sale a day after 40 different search phrases? I'm going to tell you, if I had to choose between the two, give me 40 different phrases, because everybody's focusing on 1 or 2 or 3. I'll focus on 40 and I'll win. I'll work less hard and I'll make more money. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to choose. Why not both? Don't ignore all these $20 bills lying around just to pick up one $100 bill. Mark, one of our clients, put this best. He says, just trust the process. $73,000 per month, right? Dean, who's another friend of mine who's local, lives about 15, 20 minutes away from me, super happy about this milestone, 80,000 per month. Follow the process. Question to you, are you getting excited about this opportunity yet? Well, here's the good news. We haven't even covered the best part. So far, we've discussed selecting, sourcing, and listing the product, but let's talk about where the rubber meets the road. Let's talk about the launch. This is where the real money is made, my friend. Here's the good news. There's not one way or two ways. There are several proven ways that you can very quickly get in front of thousands of buyers on Amazon who want your product and make money doing it. Would you like to know what those ways are? Okay, let me share a few with you. Number one, keywords. I know I just told you, but it's so important you understand this that I'm going to stress it again. You know, Stefano, remember, just purely off of keywords, listed his product only off of keywords, $10,000 per month. Now, here's the second most common way that our sellers meet with quick success, deep discounts. And the way I always taught it is this: if you could cut a check to Amazon and just say, put me on page 1 for this phrase, put me on page 1 when somebody searched for this, et cetera, how big a check would you write? Would you write a $5,000 check if it made you $20,000 by the end of the month? And the answer is yes, of course you would. And that's very often how our people start. And so Helen, for example, who says this is the best training and group I've been a part of, in 30 days, she gave away 100 of her products at a deep discount. And that gave Amazon information to say, let me put other customers like the customers who bought this product in front of her. So then when she raised her product to full prices, it didn't matter. Amazon was giving her new buyers and she was making 6,000 pounds per month. And then this thing, as things tend to do, because if you follow our training, we understand what Amazon really wants more than anybody. And that's what we do. We don't try to trick Amazon. We try to give Amazon more of what they want and need than anybody else. And then, of course, guess what Amazon does? They reward you. The better you understand them, the better you comply with their goals. So somebody like Helen, she starts out, gives away 100 products, but does this a couple things right that are important and key. Starts a little 6,000 pound business per month, and then boom, sells $2,000 in a single day. Crazy, huh? She says no giveaways. These are either full price sales or 25% discounts for fans, for existing people who've already bought her product. This is what happens. This is how you can make money while you make money. When you're starting out and you're making money, you're actually setting up a situation that's going to compound and even make you more money. Same thing with Jeremy. He just launched a product. He says launched it on Friday, mostly giveaways, which is his way of describing these massively huge deep discounts, 80, 90, 95% off, right? And in 30 days, well, not really 30 days. He started on Friday. A couple days later, you know, $1,200 in sales. But then a week later, he's at $5,000 in sales. And then 4 days later, he's now up to $10,000 in sales. 1 day later, he's at $17,000 in sales. Flash forward a couple months, he's at $25,000 a sale, holding steady. He then all of a sudden balloons in 6 days. He's up to $50,000 in sales, and he ran out of inventory. He would have hit 100K otherwise. This happens. This is a problem you can expect to have. No matter what you do, you will underestimate how big and how powerful Amazon is, and that's okay. I want to give you this problem where you say, I think I can make 10,000 a month. Let me give away a couple of units and see if that works. And then you end up making 50,000. You say, damn it, I ran out of inventory too soon. I want to give you that problem. Are you okay with having that problem? Because you can fix that and then it's done. But the most important thing is your problem came because you sold too much. You made too much money. And one of the ways that you can jumpstart this is with deep discounts. Now, that's not the only way to do it. Like I said, there's so many different ways to win on Amazon. It's kind of like pick your poison. And so Chris, for example, says, I just want to give a shout out to my back pocket ninja, Ben Cummings. We hit $26,000 in real sales in our first 2 months on Amazon. No previous experience. All of them were full priced sales. Number 3, another way is Amazon sponsored ads. So Amazon has a system where you can advertise and essentially pay per click. So you can show up on page 1 and say, I'll pay $1, or I'll pay 50 cents, or I'll pay $2 every time somebody searches for this and sees my product and clicks on it. And here's the beautiful thing is Amazon is not an ad company. Google is an advertising company. Google makes most of their revenue off of the advertising that they sell to advertisers. That's how they stay in business. Facebook, same way. Facebook makes their money because they sell ads. Amazon makes their money because they sell products. So Amazon really doesn't want to make money off the ads. They use ads as another way to understand what do customers want, what are they buying, so we can sell more of that for free to other customers. This is why Amazon sponsored ads work so well. So take a look at Tejas. Tejas goes live. All he does is Amazon pay-per-click. So he starts making some sales through there. He's at $149. Then all of a sudden Amazon says, move out of the way. Let's take over. Let's get you some free buyers now that you sent us some data. Now he goes from August 20th, he's at $149, right? 9 days later, he's at $2,000. A week later, he's at $5,000. And then 10 days after that, he's at $35,000. He went from $149.95 in pay-per-click sales on Amazon, so he paid for those sales, paid per click. He might have made some money. I don't know if he did or not. Maybe he broke even, maybe he lost a little bit. It doesn't matter because 27 days later, he's at $35,473.96. Amazon says, show me what you can do on a small scale. And if you pass our tests, we'll open you up to more buyers than you can know what to do with. And then a fourth way is combo. Why just do one? If one's good, two's better. If two's better, three's best, right? So Nolan, for example, he has 300 units. This is how he starts his Amazon business. He does a combination of Amazon ads, plus he uses some deep discounts because we have a way of doing that on Facebook. And he uses another secret method I'm not going to reveal here. It's only private for our customers, right? And he starts at 4,000 in his first 30 days by doing a combination of these three things, which is not bad, right? Pretty impressive, actually. And then flash forward to not too long after that, and he's doing over 100,000 per month. Question: isn't it time you cash in on what can only be described as the single greatest opportunity in the digital age to create your own fortune? While everybody offline is going bankrupt and other brands of yesteryear are continuing to struggle, closing stores left and right, Amazon just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and Amazon just keeps getting better and better. Amazon controls the best audience that you could ever hope to get in front of, which is the Amazon Prime member. And you can get in front of that customer and start making money from anywhere in the world, no matter where you are. And there are thousands upon thousands of products and opportunities that you can start and make bank with. They're endless, and there's more being created every single day, from mold test kits to stainless steel cutlery to pusher shovels to circuit analyzers to any and every product, some things that you've never even heard of. And results can happen fast. 30 days or less, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 or more. And best of all, you've seen today just a small, tiny portion of the people we've worked with who started from nothing and achieves amazing success on Amazon with our process, like Scott, Kim Marie, Stefano, Deepak, May, Gil, John, Sam, Michael, Srivatsan, Gabe, Adrian, Nick, Sarah, Mishrad, Michael, Matthew, Randy, Michael, Don, Sridhar, Steve, Arthur, all these doing 30, 40, 50,000 per month. Nolan, Philip, James, Michaela, Ishan, Regina doing hundreds of $1,000s per month in some instances. And these big superstars, people like Leah doing over 200,000 a month, George doing over 200,000 per month, Mario now up to $250,000 per month, Pawan over $250,000 per month. You saw Pablo earlier at $500,000 per month, all of them starting pretty much with us and utilizing our resources. And guess what? Now it's your turn. Why? Because you're as smart as these people, you're as capable as these customers, and here's the most important thing of all, you deserve it. However, there are concerns. Concern number one, you say, Jason, if this is so good, why are you willing to sell this to anybody at any price? And that's a fair question. There's two reasons. Reason number one, it's good for business. See, we make most of our money helping 7-figure Amazon sellers become 8-figure sellers, because when we make that kind of bump for somebody, there's a lot of money that they can give to us to make that happen. So call this me digging my well before I'm thirsty. I want you to become the next 7-figure seller so then I can open up and create my own demand for 7 going to 8. And here's the second reason, and this is probably more important to me. It's good for the soul. Listen, I'm financially independent. I don't necessarily have to work if I don't want to, and I've made millions, and I'll probably continue to make millions without nearly the same amount of effort, right? Now, helping others do the same makes me feel great when I wake up in the morning, and it's as simple as that. So these are the two reasons that I'm making this available to you with some conditions that apply, which we'll talk about here shortly. Here's your second concern. How much is this going to cost? Because you can probably think, yeah, this is a lot. It's got to be a lot of money, isn't it, Jason? And it's probably worth it because look at all these results. Now, as you can imagine, we've put thousands and thousands of hours into perfecting the process for getting rich selling physical products on Amazon. And in addition, we spent millions and millions of dollars testing out ideas, theories, and developing resources that give unfair advantages. Plus, of course, We've invested insane amounts of time and money into supporting and assisting over 15,000 Amazon sellers that we serve. We command a great amount of influence, and we have a lot of guinea pigs in the laboratory on which we can learn and understand how this thing works. As a result, what I have for you today is far from cheap, and it does require a considerable investment. And unfortunately, not everybody is going to be in a position to take advantage of this. However, what's the price of inaction? Because I'm here to tell you that the price of inaction is going to cost you more than the investment to get started today. And here's why. If I had a crystal ball that showed you your future 6 months from now, and you were $50,000 richer than you are today, you'd invest $10,000 with me right here, right now to get there, wouldn't you? Because it's not what it cost. It's the return that it can give you. It's the investment. Here's the reality. It ain't about the money, because if you want something bad enough and it's worth it, you will find a way to get it. Here's your real concern, and I can boil it down to a single word: belief. This is the real concern, belief. You don't believe me. You say, this sounds too good to be true, Jason. And I say, this is too good to be false. But you might think the testimonials are fake, they're doctored, they're misrepresented, they're spun, or somehow other manipulated, right? Is it that, or is it something more? Maybe the belief is this: you don't believe in yourself. You say, well, they did it, but they is not you. Can you do it? Do you believe in yourself enough to be able to do it? Well, here's the deal. I believe in you enough for the both of us. I believe you can, and I'm willing to put my own money and my own reputation on the line to prove it. Listen, every millionaire in their life had someone at some point in time who believed and supported them when they got started. I had it, and now you have it. Why? Why am I doing this? To help you experience truly, for the first time ever, freedom. Financial freedom, freedom of choice, freedom to do what you want, when you want, and with whom you want. Here's the deal. My business partner, Ben Cummings, and I have personally worked one-on-one with more from 0 to 7-figure Amazon sellers than anybody else on the planet. Ben is a master at teaching the ins and outs of getting started, making your first big profits, and then turning it to 6 and 7 figures. And I'm a master at providing you with the resources, the software, and all the shortcuts to get you there even sooner and easier and bigger. Together, we've put our collaborative forces behind a brand new, first of its kind training program called Search, Find, Buy, because this is what we're going to show you how to do. We're going to show you how to put products on Amazon that people can easily search, find, and buy. This was created, this program, Search, Find, Buy, was created by my business partner, Ben Cummings. He's the first seller I personally worked with who had a #1 best-selling product on all of Amazon, the entirety of Amazon in the category of beauty. He's the first seller that I know to launch 3 separate brand new products and all at the same time put them in the top 100 of their category on Amazon. Ben has months that do $500,000 or more. Ben is going to be your guide to take you through from start to finish how to get up and be profitable on Amazon. When you sign up for this training program, Search, Find, Buy, you're going to get immediate access to module 1, and then each module is unlocked to you 1 week after the next, And we do this very deliberately and intentionally, so that way you can get up, get going. It's not overwhelming. It doesn't take that much time, and before you know it, you're going to see success. You're going to get step by step, look over my shoulder, push this, do that video instruction that you can consume and watch and benefit from on any device, tablet, phone, or a computer, as long as you have an internet connection. Let me give you a small, tiny taste of what you're going to get your hands on when you sign up for Search, Find, Buy here today. Pretty much this whole thing is built around how to go from 0 on Amazon to $10,000 a month on Amazon to $100,000 per month on Amazon. You're going to get not only the resources and tools and the approach, but you're going to be able to get the things in place to put you in the right mindset to be successful. Simple exercises that can have profound impact. You're going to get the basics, such as setting up a proper business, what type of entity, and all that junk, right? You're going to get the basics on Amazon, what a Seller Central account is, how to set it up, how to configure it, no matter where you're at in the world. Then you're going to get into the nitty-gritty, how to find the very best products to sell on Amazon, step by step, how to quickly and effectively source these products, how to get these products shipped, when to ship by air, when to ship by boat, how to get them from China to Amazon, how to package these products so they're attractive and they practically sell themselves on Amazon, how to use product images to help your products sell themselves, how to find the best keywords to put on your listing in a way that nobody can compete with you, how to make your listings turn anybody who looks at them practically into a buyer. So this thing just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger on its own. Most important, how to get your product ranked for all kinds of different searches so you show up on page 1, near or at the top when somebody's looking for that specific thing that you have. You get access to training, you get access to spreadsheets where you just plug things in and you push buttons and it spits out formulas. Green means go, red means stop. You get calculators, so again, you push a couple things in and you get a lot of good information out. You get standard operating procedures that we've developed for all of our own multiple different big successful Amazon businesses. You get email templates because a lot of this is copy and paste, so you don't have to write it from scratch. We just hand it over to you, you copy and you paste, and you profit. You get graphic and image templates, you get cheat sheets, you get process maps, you get case study after case study of how somebody was starting and how they became successful, and you get software to help you rank your products. Because if you want to do this manually, yeah, that's okay, but I would rather get in a car and drive somewhere than walk from point A to point B. Now, if you're the general public, your investment to get started with Search, Find, Buy is $1,997. And if you go to searchfindbuy.com, you can get that at any time, whenever you want to, day or night, at that price. However, since you're on this webinar, I have a time-limited special offer, and I mean it. When this thing expires, for you, it's gone forever. This is my reward for you for being here today and investing yourself in time. I'm going to hook you up with a short time-limited discount if you're fast enough. Here's what you need to do. You need to go to the URL that you see on your screen. If you have an active chat and it's dropped into the chat, you can go ahead and click on that or tap on that. If you're watching a recording of this later from a replay perspective, there might be a button that you can click on. I really don't know or care how you're going to get there. What's important is you follow that URL that you see on your screen, whether you type it in, whether you put it in a browser, whatever you do, and get signed up ASAP. It's important you act quickly because this offer does expire shortly. For just a single $997 investment or 3 installments of $399 spaced 30 days apart, you can get started ASAP. You can get the full series of training videos. You can get all the guides, all the templates, all the SOPs, all the action, all the resources, all the bonuses. What are the bonuses? We'll talk about the bonuses in a second. You don't even need to worry about that right now. Understand this. Would you give me $1 if it gave you $10 back in a short period of time? And the answer is, if you're saying you would. I have now put this in a position where it is as low as I can get it in terms of the investment and give you everything you need to be successful. I've done my job. Now it's time for you to do your job. Go ahead, go there right now and sign up. And when you do, you're also going to get the single greatest advantage available to Amazon sellers. When you sign up through that special URL or that special button on the page or the chat, however you're going to get there. If you see this logo that says Rapid Crush Bonus Package near the bottom of the page, you're going to get the extra hookup. What is that, you ask? Here's what it's about. Bonus number 1, the fastest path to profit. See, Search, Find, Buy is released one module at a time. Your first module you get access to immediately today, then the next 5 1 week apart, right? Want to go faster? We can get you there faster. This is bonus 1, the fastest path to profits, where we have walked down specifically through all our many years of trial and error exactly what to do. And it's for this reason people like Sean can get up and started in their first 30 days, make $50,000. Okay? In addition to the fastest path, the streamlined approach to get results as fast as humanly possible. Bonus number 2, we talked Ben into throwing in 2 months of recording Amazon coaching sessions. So Ben works with some of our best-selling 6, 7, and 8-figure Amazon sellers in month-in, month-out group type of coaching. And this is where he's really sharpened the saw over the years, such as the $10,000 product picking method, such as how to flood your listing with real quality Amazon approved 5-star reviews, how to launch a new product and make it a bestseller, and what he calls the Amazon sales multiplier. When you sign up, you're going to get access to coaching that's worth tens of thousands of dollars, the archives of the best. This is why people like Leah, who do over $200,000 a month, say, we love Ben Cummings' training over here and just follow his quote unquote basic strategies outlined in the 6-hour webinar series, which is what you're going to get access to. Bonus number 1 is the fastest path to profits. Bonus number 2 is the coaching with Ben, the archives of that. Bonus number 3 is the China concierge. If you've never sourced products from China before, don't worry about it. I have a personal service. I have boots in the ground in China that will help you find, communicate with suppliers, negotiate prices on your behalf, place orders, and more. This is a service that we charge existing Amazon sellers for, and they're happy to pay it. You get access to the service for the first 8 weeks free of charge. Here is all you have to do. You read one small PDF, and then when you're done with that, you can fill out this form. You fill out a few things. You click submit sourcing request, and we go from there. Okay, we will have people down there being able to get you access to manufacturers that's not available anywhere else unless you have somebody you know in China that can do this for you. I highly recommend you use this when you're starting because it's one less thing you have to learn. And now you can do that for free. So the first bonus is the fastest path to profits. The second bonus is the coaching archives with Ben Cummings. The third bonus is the China concierge program. Bonus number 4 is an interesting bonus. This is called Managed by Stats. Philip Jepson, when he started with us, he was one of our first successful sellers on Amazon. And he was in a unique situation where his house was in foreclosure and he didn't have that much money, obviously. And he had to dip into his daughter's college savings that he had saved up to send her to college. And he asked me, should I do that? And I said, only if you're going to take it serious. So he did, and look what happened. Philip has businesses now that are way bigger than that are successful on Amazon, but he also developed this incredible software. Now, since I helped him get started, I have some clout with him. I was able to negotiate an exclusive deal to give you what is normally a paid access, several $100s per year of this software for free in perpetuity. That means for life. Whatever the people pay for, you got for free. This thing will make you so much money by the time you decide to upgrade and unlock any more of these functions that is in Managed by Stats. You're doing so off a ton of profits. Because this is the kind of reputation we have and the kind of results that we've been able to do for person after person who's followed our process on Amazon. Plus, Philip also built this thing called Seller Mail. So when people buy from you on Amazon, there's a message center in Amazon that you can interact with the customers who bought from you. And there's a tool that Philip developed that will get you more 5-star reviews than you can know what to do with, all on autopilot, plus get your audience to buy more often, and tell their friends to buy as well. And here's just a taste of what that looks like. You literally pick from a set of templates, you push a couple buttons, and when somebody buys your product on Amazon, automatically they're getting the best type of communication from you that's going to result in reviews, sales, and profits. This is the kind of automation that one of our clients went from starting, as you can see, and a year and 9 months later have $1 million Amazon business. So the first bonus is the fastest path to profits. The second bonus is coaching archives with Ben. The third bonus is the China concierge service. The fourth is Managed by Stats and Seller Mail. The fifth is pay-per-click entourage. So remember earlier when I talked about how Amazon pay-per-click can just a little bit can jumpstart a massive successful business? This software is without a shadow of a doubt the strongest Amazon sponsored ads management platform on the planet. And again, because I have clout, I can get what others pay a lot of money for, hundreds of dollars per month for you for your first product for free. So that way you can make money before you ever have to decide if you need a tool like this or not. You get full unlimited usage of this product to use in tandem with pay-per-click entourage for your first product, your very first product. Only though if you go to the URL you see on your screen or hit the button that's surrounding this video if you're watching the replay of it, okay? Here is what pay-per-click entourage can do for you. Quickly to discover the exact customer search terms that generate the most profit for your business. Discover your most profitable and popular individual words and add them to the back end if you're listening, giving you greater exposure, all with the click of a button. Optimize your Amazon pay-per-click campaigns in minutes, not hours or days. Know the exact keywords, search terms, and individual words that are performing the best, all on autopilot. That is yours when you sign up at the URL you see on your screen. You get the best, the fastest path to profits. You get the best coaching archives from Ben Cummings. You get the China concierge service. You get the Managed by Stats and Seller Mail software. You get the pay-per-click entourage software. Bonus number 6, you get China sourcing secrets. So my friend Sean Hart has over 19 years of experience sourcing products from China. He regularly builds Amazon businesses up from scratch, from nothing to a year or two later, he then flips them. He sells them. And so here's one that he sold recently for $2 million cash. and all of his products come out of China. All of these businesses that he creates, insurance, come out of China. And as a result of doing this for 19 years, Sean has something we call guanxi. So what is guanxi? So guanxi, I've heard it described like this: arguably the most important thing you need to get ahead in life in Chinese society. Guanxi plays a part in pretty much everything from getting your company certified to getting a table at a popular restaurant. Because of Sean's guanxi, he can do stuff for you that nobody else can, such as what he did for one of our sellers, Alex, who was paying $15 a piece prior to this bonus, and these secrets that are contained in this bonus, I should say, and now he's down to $1.25 a piece. Here's what you get with China Sourcing Secrets for free as a special bonus from us: 6 recorded coaching sessions with Sean Hart, who has spent the last 17 years selling 9 figures worth of products sourced exclusively from China. As a result, he shares his most valuable sourcing strategies for going direct to manufacturers, to getting products for pennies for higher quality, and getting them on Amazon.com live faster. This is available to you. As soon as you sign up and go through the process, when it's time for that to unlock, it'll be in your hands. Fastest Path to Profits bonus, Coaching with Ben Cummings bonus, the China Concierge bonus, Managed by Stats and Seller Mail, Pay-Per-Click Entourage Software, China Sourcing Secrets. All of these bonuses are yours for free when you sign up for Search, Find, Buy, as long as you sign up fast enough before the special deal expires. Bonus number 7 was created by yours truly. Having worked hands-on with hundreds and hundreds of different Amazon sellers, I've tested hundreds of products across 16 different categories. And then as a result of ranking product after product on page 1 so people could search, find, and buy it at record numbers, I've discovered that there are 11 different methods that are almost a sure thing. And I've documented each one in detail, and now that is yours as well. This is my manifesto. Everything I do is built around this concept in Amazon. You get that bonus as well. Bonus number 8, you get the profit calculator spreadsheet that we showed you earlier, so you can just plug in a few things, and what takes others hours or days and they get it wrong still, you never have to worry about that again. You get that bonus. Bonus number 9, the product finder software. So it's really important to find these hidden gem products that have a bestseller rank of 2,000 or 4,000 or 6,000. And there's no easy way you can do this. You can try to do it manually, but it would take you days or weeks, and you'd still probably miss most of the stuff. But with this tool that you get for free, as long as you sign up before the offer expires by going to the URL you see on your screen, right? You're going to be able to laser focus in exactly the perfect types of products that are going to make you the most amount of money on Amazon following our criteria. I'm talking seconds in some cases, or minutes when you're first starting. Point, click, and it's done. You get access to this for as long as you want it, okay? Now, when you sign up for Search, Find, Buy, not only are you going to get a Search, Find, Buy members area, so as soon as your acceptance form is complete, you fill that out, you give them the information, and then when it's done, you get an email saying, here's your members area, here's your login to Search, Find, Buy. You get the first module immediately unlocked to you, and each module after that, 1 per week. All the templates, all the resources, SOPs, it's all found in that area. You also get a second email, an email from us with access to our bonus members area. So you say, Jason, how do I get access to all these free bonuses that you're giving me when I sign up for Search, Find, Buy? You just check your email. We have built a special bonus members area just for you, and it houses all of our bonuses. And when they become unlocked to you, some of them are available immediately, some of them are unlocked at certain times in correspondence with the course. All the information is at the URL you see on your screen that you can go to right now to know what you get what. But here's the deal: you get all this stuff for free, all these bonuses, by investing in the best training of its kind to go step by step from I don't know anything about Amazon to, oh my God, look at all the money I'm making on Amazon, which is Search, Find, Buy. But you got to act fast. If you wait too long, all of these bonuses go away for you and your investment doubles. Now, here's the cool thing about your investment here today. Not only do you get the best deal possible, not only do you get all the bonuses, you are backed by a 30-day risk-free money back guarantee. Listen, I've made enough money in my life. I don't need to take anybody's money unless they're happy to give it to me. I only want to keep you as a customer if you're 100% happy with your investment. And you have a full 30 days to decide. So essentially at that time, you'll see 85% of the course, you'll see 85% of the bonuses, and at that point you can make a judgment to see, did everything I say today live up to the hype or not? Now, at any time within these 30 days, for any reason or no reason at all, you don't have to give me a reason. You can just drop a line to our support at rapidcrush.com. and we'll give you every penny of your money back. if you wish to. And by the way, we're always a click or an email away at support. We do have the best support in the industry. Anybody who says they have better, I say prove it, because they never have yet. Our average response time 24/7, 365 is about 62 minutes per ticket, usually less. During weekdays, during normal business hour, we're talking a few minutes on average, okay? With a high degree of satisfaction rating. And so we got your back. When you invest in Search, Find, Buy, you don't just get the best training with the best templates, the best calculators, the best copy and paste emails, the best videos, the best of that, plus all of our best bonuses. You get us too. So act quickly and promptly. And go ahead and sign up at the URL you see on your screen. Do it now before that offer expires, before the bonuses go away, before the price goes up. And really, the sooner you sign up, the sooner you can begin profiting. And I'm going to try to take a couple questions here if I have some time. But before I do, there's one thing I know I'm going to get as a question. So let me be proactive with it. And that's this. Because somebody says, Jason, I understand the investment in Search, Find, Buy. And I understand I get all your bonuses free. But what else do I need to invest in my business to really do it right on Amazon? And let me just break it down for you. Let me be fully transparent with you. Here's what it looks like. Including your investment in Search, Find, Buy, which is $9.97 once, or if you prefer, 3 installments of $3.99 space, 30 days apart. It doesn't matter to me. You get the same type of access. All right. You say, what about my initial inventory? Counting everything from product cost to shipping cost to packaging cost, it could be anywhere from $0 to $2,000. There are ways where you can negotiate to only pay out a profit with manufacturers. So that's possible. I don't really recommend that because you end up paying a lot more and you make a lot less profit. I never, ever recommend, no matter what you are at financially. If you got $100,000 sitting in a bank account and you're saying, I want to spend this, Jason, don't spend it. Spend only $2,000 at most, and that's only if the product is really, really, really good. Because any more than that, it's reckless. It doesn't help you at all, okay? And on average, our people typically spend about $1,000 on their first order. That's high. I would say our average people last we checked was $683, but that, data is a little out of date. It doesn't account for inflation or anything like that, right? So now there are people out there that will tell you, well, that's why you don't want a private label, because I'll show you a way to do it for free. Well, guess what happens when everybody can do it with no amount of effort, when there is no barrier of entry? We call that a traffic jam, but it's never crowded at the top. And that's what this takes. This takes a little tiny bit of capital, and in response, you get a massive advantage that nobody else can seem to match. And that's what it looks like for inventory. Now, of course, if you want to start for $200, you can do that too. You're not going to have as many products that you can source as an opportunity, but you can figure it out. It might take you a couple more hours to find a product that makes sense, but it doesn't matter. If you lack resources, you can be resourceful. Either way, I know you can get involved in Search, Find, Buy with us and be able to make this work. And then there's the logo, design, branding, and any miscellaneous costs. We'll just put that all in this bucket. And expect $0 to $600. On average, again, it's about $300. It's a little bit less, but whatever the case may be. Here's the beautiful thing. This is your investment. The logo design and branding is a one-time investment. You make that once and you essentially don't ever have to make that again for that product. Search, Find, Buy is a one-time investment. You do this once and you never have to worry about it again. If you take the 3 installments, when the 3 installments are done, you're done. And we're going to update this course, because don't you think Amazon updates itself? And of course, we do that, and that's yours for free. As long as you're an active member, you get all those bonuses and all those updates that are available with the Search, Find, Buy course, yours for free. So this is it, straight up. Are you ready for this or not? If you want it, if you want somebody to tell you you can do this cheaper, you're not going to have the advantages. And there's certainly people that will make you do this in a much more expensive thing. And unfortunately, cutting the check isn't the litmus test for success or failure, because I'm sure you spent way more than this with way less opportunity before, and you were probably happy you did, because I will always invest in myself and in my business, even if I can get a slight edge. And why not invest to get the best edge and the best opportunity that exists online right now with the people who have the best proven track record with, which is us. So go ahead and go to that URL. Let's get started now. And this is what's important to understand. Those who deserve wealth find a way to make it happen, even if there are challenges in the way. I'm not going to pretend this is going to be an easy investment for you. I'm not going to pretend that you're just going to make this lackadaisically and be like, yeah, no big deal, right? I don't care how much money I make. Anytime I have to spend $1,000, that's a big deal for me. Now, when I started my first business online in 2007, and you saw the picture of the apartment I started in, I had a very tough decision I had to make. I either had to buy a bed to sleep in or a desk to work on. And what do you think I bought? I slept on the floor, all right? So if you want to make it happen, you can make it happen. If you don't want to make it happen, you don't have to make it happen. But most men leave lives of quiet desperation. Don't be one of them. Don't be that statistic. Here's the opportunity to do something different, to do something better, to empower yourself, to help yourself help others. This is the key ingredient. Do you believe that you deserve wealth? I tell you, I believe you do. Guess where you come from? You come from the infinite. So within you is the infinite. You come from full abundance, so within you is the right to abundance. You have that desire for wealth, and we'll take care of the rest. You said, Jason, what about time though? I don't have that much time. It's not about how much time you have, my friend. It's what you do with the time you have, no matter how much or how little of it you have. And I want you to consider this. Seth comes home one day, day 27 of his Amazon journey. He started with us 27 days later. Here's what he reports on. Life-changing milestone. Officially made more in profit today than my paycheck for the entire work week. Sorry for yelling. I just couldn't contain myself. And Raul has less time than all of us. He works a full-time job. He's going back to school. He's got 4 kids, all that stuff. You either make it work or you make an excuse. Eric works more than a full-time job. Either make it work or you make an excuse. Here's where you can go to make it work. Go ahead and go to that URL, sign up now. You get the best of everything. You get the best training, you get the best software, you get the best bonuses. Most of this stuff you would have to pay thousands of dollars for if you were to go out there and buy it on its own off the shelf. I've negotiated a way for you to get all the resources you need to be successful, because your success is my success. The better you get at Amazon, the better I can get at Amazon, because I learn just as much from my audience as my audience learns from me. We're in this together. We pool our resources, we work with each other, we have each other's back, and as a result, it's the rising tide that lifts all boats. So go ahead, get started now. If you're having trouble signing up, you can always drop us a line at support@rapidcrush.com and we can take care of you. It's important though that you do this immediately to make sure you get through, because this is a limited time offer. This is not a public deal. If you want the public deal, go to search, find, buy. You can pay the $2,000 there, not get these bonuses as part of this. And by the way, that's still a good deal. But why not get the best deal, which is available to you right now for a limited time, as if you are willing to sign up ASAP. Now, I've been talking for 93 minutes straight, essentially, at this point, right? My business partner, Will's here, and he's been watching the comments, and he also has some insights, because Will and I have been on this journey from day one together. We started the Amazon business process together, and here we are, over about 6 years now later, still doing this and getting better every single year. So, Will, while I take a quick break to get my breath back, why don't you chime in here with some of the insights and some of the things you've observed?
Jason, incredible webinar as usual, man. I can't believe it's been like almost 6 years. This is crazy how time flies, and it also speaks loads to the longevity of this opportunity. And I have no doubt that 6 years from now, we'll still be talking about this, because like you said in the webinar, Amazon continues to grow. And so the opportunity continues to grow. And over the last 8 years or so that we've been in business together, we've seen business opportunities come and go, but this is the one that has had longevity, and for the foreseeable future will continue to. So really excited to be here, really excited to be sharing this new training course with folks. Have a lot of questions that have come up. We've been answering them as we go along, but there are a few that I've flagged here that I think are important. And it's important for folks here, because we've answered these questions, most of them probably hundreds of times, but folks here want to know. So the first question is, I'm outside the US, can I still do this? And the answer is a resounding yes. You can absolutely do this no matter where you're from, no matter where you live. It doesn't matter whether you source the products in the US or outside the country, where you live, where you vacation, where you travel to. As long as you have a computer and an internet connection, then you can absolutely do this. We've had people do it from so many different countries. We've had a soldier, a US soldier do it from, or I should say a US military contractor, do it from a war zone in the Middle East. That's where he started and ran his business from. We've had people from literally all over the world, people whose native language is not English, people who struggle to speak English even, doing this and doing it successfully. So it doesn't matter where in the world you are. And maybe it's a little bit difficult to make sense of that because, hey, you're selling physical products. How can you be somewhere else in the world and sell in the US or sell in the UK or sell in Germany or sell wherever you're going to sell your physical products? When Jason and I started this business, our very first Amazon product, we sourced the product via emails. We private labeled the product. We had the manufacturer send directly to Amazon. We never saw the product. The very first time we saw the product was when we bought our own product on Amazon in order to get the sample. That was the first time we ever touched it. And that is how we got started. So you don't need to even see or touch your product. Now, of course, we recommend you do it, a little bit in a little bit of more controlled fashion, and you get a sample sent to you. But sending a sample to you is super easy. It doesn't matter where you live. You can get stuff shipped to you so that you can see the product and appreciate it and touch it and take pictures of it and all that. In our case, we just wanted to go super fast, and that was many, many, many years ago. Let's see. I sell on Amazon already. I buy wholesale and sell other people's products, but never done private label because I don't know how. It sounds complicated. Why should I do this? Jason, help me answer that one.
Oh yeah, I love that one. First of all, if you're already wholesaling on Amazon, you're working 10 times as hard for 1/10 the amount of money. So if you're making that work, private label is a walk in the park. Think about it as swimming upstream versus swimming downstream. Which would you prefer? And the answer is, yeah, I'd like to swim downstream. And that's what private label is. So the only thing is, yes, you got to learn a little bit more. So instead of just taking somebody else's product and shoving it in a box and throwing it Amazon's way, you are now contacting manufacturers. And here's the beautiful thing. I think anybody could do this, Will, but we have the China Concierge program. So you don't even have to know how to do any of this when you're starting. You just say, hey, I want to find a product like this product I found on Amazon. Here are some of the details. Help me out. And you're going to see how the service does this for you, finds the product, and then helps you arrange it. Now, on top of that, we have every kind of SOP. This is a standard operating procedure known to man, because over the years, as we got better at our Amazon business, we've automated it. So we've had the ability now to pretty much make it turnkey, so it doesn't require us doing everything at every step of the process. That's how it started. And so essentially, we've documented all these things to make it black and white. Do this, do this, do this, do this. So whatever you're wondering what this is, whether it's how do I contact a manufacturer, how do I arrange from shipping to China to the United States, how do I get it packaged right and properly so it's attractive to an Amazon buyer, it's all taken care of. It's all there. So if you have experience selling on Amazon and you haven't done private label, congratulations. If you have no experience on Amazon, congratulations, right?
If you're breathing, congratulations, right, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, here's the biggest thing. Here's who I wouldn't congratulate. Somebody who knows the cost of everything and the value of nothing, right? Because the reality is, just to get 1/10 of this anywhere else would cost you twice as much. And I would pay that if that was my only option. But
and many have paid.
And many have paid that.
And it was a smart investment.
It is a smart investment, but the reality here is some people are fortunate enough to be exposed to the very best, and others have to find it and hunt it down. And oftentimes they don't find it and hunt it down, or along the way they have to settle for second and third and fourth best. And that's fine. But you're looking at the best. And I can definitely, if you need me to help convince somebody that that's the case, I will, because here's what we do. We just say, well, let's line up our results. So show me somebody else doing this and we'll put our results to their results. And I'll give them a 2-to-1 advantage, like a golf handicap, right? For every one result that they can say following their product or their program, I'll give 2. Because A, we've been doing this for so long. B, we've been doing this relentlessly. And C, we just make it unfair. I mean, Will, our philosophy in business, tell me if this is accurate, because this is how I think about how you and I do business together, is we figure out how to essentially get into a t-ball game with 5-year-old kids and be the only adults playing, right?
We don't play fair.
We don't play fair.
Business doesn't play fair. right? Apple doesn't play fair. They don't go saying, hey, you know, our marketing is too good. We should slow it down so other companies can catch up. No, they go to crush it. They go to own markets. And
Yep.
that's what we want to do, right? Absolutely. It's not
Yeah,
fair.
so along the way, I can negotiate with a guy to give me his software for free that everybody else has to pay for, and I can pass that on to you. That's not fair. We call that an unfair advantage. But that's what we've done. If you say, Jason, how can you make this available for so little and give us so much? It's because sunk cost. I've already spent the millions of dollars to develop these resources. Whether you do or do not invest in them does not change anything of what the past is. But because we've already offloaded all that hard cost and we figured it out, we can pass that savings on to you, right? It's simply a matter of thing is if I give a customer resources and I have to compete with other people on the marketplace that can show you Amazon or show you something else, I want to win. Let me be very, very clear about this. I hate losing more than I love winning. And so what do I do to win? I stack the deck in my customer's favorite. I give them every possible conceivable advantage. So if somebody else is selling on Amazon and they don't have these resources, I feel sorry for that person because it's way harder for them. But I don't want you to make that mistake because I feel even more sorry for you if you see this and then you let a little thing take you away from this big opportunity. If you say, well, Jason, the bills are tight. Well, let me ask you this. Is doing nothing going to change that situation, or can we agree that something needs to be done to change that situation? And if so, what is that something? And I will tell you, line this up against something else. And if that something else seems better to you, go forward with it. That's how confident I am in what we have. But ask that other person if they're willing to say the same thing. Ask them if they have the track record we have. Ask them if they have these resources that we have. Ask them really, truly, at the end of the day, how confident they are in your success, if they're willing to put their own reputation on the line and go out there and publicly state it. That's what we're willing to do. And again, two reasons. Let's be very clear here. I am no saint. So I try to be the best man I can be, right? But at the end of the day, I like to do this, first of all, because it makes me more money. I am a dirty, greedy capitalist. And if I can make you more money, I make more money. It's just a fact of business. And so if I make you more successful, you'll come back and do more business with me in the future. So this isn't an act of charity, okay? But the second reason I do this is simply after a while, the money just becomes a way of keeping score. What really matters is, am I making contribution? Am I having impact? Am I making things happen? And that's really important for me. It's really important for Will. When we get the messages that we get, and we get them more often than most, that says, because of you, I was able to now finally do something I never could do before in my life. We've taken people, Will, I mean, you've seen it with a guy like Raul, who has since become a very dear friend of ours. We take a guy who essentially his wife says to him, you got to give up on this whole entrepreneur thing. You got to give up on this investing in yourself to learn how to do business thing, because every single thing you've ever done in your life, you failed. And it's to the point where it strained our marriage. And I'm giving you an ultimatum. This is your absolutely last chance. You either do this or you don't do it again. And he just so happens to walk into a local meetup that Will is at, because this is how important we believe it is to help people who want to help themselves with Amazon. Will's at this local meetup. He talks about this. Raul goes out there, gets the credit card, and signs up. Raul didn't have the credit card on him because he said, I'm going to leave it out in the car. I'm not going to spend any money. He makes that investment, changes his whole life, right? Raul comes to the birthday parties now with the kids. He comes to the 4th of July celebration with us, becomes dear friends of ours. And I know we can look at that beautiful human being and say, we played a small part in completely changing his life. And we can stack that up one after the next after the next. And I don't know what that's worth. You can't put it in a bank account, maybe a spiritual bank account, but that's important to me. But at the same time, you say, if that's the case, Jason, why don't you give it all away for free? Well, then we couldn't, because it cost me money to run the China Concierge program. It cost me money to develop these deals. Some of these deals we have to pay out of our pocket to get it for you for free. It cost me money to have a whole system in place to operate and run these. And so I'm giving it to you at the best possible price I can give that still makes it worthwhile for me, but still gives you the biggest, most unfair advantage that you could ever hope to get. And hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully that you understand that there's a lot of little things that you don't know right now about this business. And, you know, at one point in time when you bought your first smartphone, you didn't know anything about it. And it didn't even come with a damn instruction manual, did it? But you somehow figured that out. And if you can figure out how to operate a smartphone, Well, you're already 5 times more than qualified to figure out how to start an Amazon business, because that's easier. And this comes with the best instructions, and it comes with the best templates, and it comes with the best shortcuts, and it comes with the best of the best that we figured it out. So that's that. Go to that URL now, because time is definitely winding down, and let's get started ASAP.
That's awesome, Jason. You just answered the next question here. I'm not very technical, and I usually have a hard time keeping up with courses I've tried. It is easy to follow. And that is a great description. If you've ever used a smartphone, you're more than qualified. Not that you need a smartphone for this, mind you, but you're more than qualified because everything is step by step. You don't need to be very technical. Everything is explained. If you've shopped on Amazon, let's put it that way. If you've purchased something on Amazon, you're qualified. If you've purchased anything else online, you're qualified. And if you haven't, trust me, it's not that hard. So we walk you step by step. You don't need to be technical, a wizard at any of this stuff. So do I get lifetime access to your bonuses? The answer is yes, you do. There is one bonus that is time limited, and that is the China Concierge bonus that you get for the first 8 weeks of the course, and it will allow you to source your first product or two if you're fast. And after that, you will have an option to continue using the service if you'd like. It is completely optional. By then, you will know everything you need to know, and you should be able to do this yourself. But if you choose for the convenience, for the sake of convenience and ease and speed, to use the China Concierge service, you can absolutely sign up for that service. But again, experience it for 8 weeks for absolutely free. We are paying for it on your behalf. I hear Amazon changes all the time. Do I have to pay again when you update the training? That is another piece of great news right there. No, once you have access to the training course, you have access for as long as the course is available. So I hate to say lifetime, because then whose lifetime are we talking about? You know, mine, yours, or Ben's, or, you know, as long as the course is viable. If Amazon goes out of business, of course, which is not going to happen, then this won't be applicable anymore, of course, and then the course won't be updated and you won't have access. We'll take it down. But as long as the course is viable, right, you will have access to it. And Ben is committed to continuing to update, because you are absolutely right. Amazon changes all the time. So those of you that already know a little bit about Amazon or have tried it in the past, it's probably a little different right now than it used to be. And this is why you need access to the latest and greatest information, and information that is going to continuously be updated. Jason, there are 2 questions here I've been holding. They've been asked more than once. I bet you know what the questions are, because we can bet money on the fact that these questions will be asked or these comments will be made. So let me ask the first one. I'm really busy and I don't have a whole lot of time. How much time do I need to spend doing this?
Well, how much time do you want to spend doing this? If you say, Jason, I only got 1 hour, then you got 1 hour, right? Now, let's be very clear. If you do 1 hour a week, it's going to take you a little longer to get to that income goal. If you say, Jason, I only got 5 hours a week, great. Then put 5 hours a week in. It's not the amount of time. In fact, let me flip it this way. If you said, Jason, I have 80 hours a week, I have nothing else to do but this, meh. You're not really at that advantage. There's only so much you can do in an Amazon business in a week before it just becomes diminishing returns, right? Most of our clients, we recommend, especially those that are time concerned, we recommend more so than the hour per week, a consistency of time per week. So if you say, I can put in 5 hours a week, you put in 5 hours a week. Now let's be clear on that one. Watching 5 hours of search, find, buy videos does not count. It's doing stuff for 5 hours as a result of educating and utilizing these resources to put you in that position, right? But if you say, listen, I got an hour a day, 5 days a week, I'm going to have to put into this to get started, then that's the case. Raul was doing about 4 hours a week, okay? And then when he started making money, it was 5 hours a week because he spent an hour a week checking his statistics to see how much money he made, right? It's amazing how people will, by the way, say that they don't have time until they start making money, and then magically all of a sudden they got all this extra time. Have you ever noticed that phenomenon?
Of course, you know you make time for what's important, right? It's just a fact of life. When I was in college, I was working. My last 2 years, I was working full time and going to school, carrying a double load. I used to work from 6 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon every day, and I used to go to school from 3:30 to 10 p.m. every day. And I used to take classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays that met at the same time. I'd go to one on Tuesdays and the other on Thursdays. And I remember telling myself, Jason, when I'm done with school, I'm going to have so much free time. It's going to be amazing all the things I'm going to be able to do because I'm going to have so much free time. The day after I graduated, I learned an important lesson. Free time doesn't just happen. You have to make it, because somehow all my free time, supposed free time, got filled up. And it got filled up with stuff that, didn't really matter. So when you have something that matters to you, you do make the time. For example, you probably watch a show or two on TV every night, right? If it was important for you to be successful and for you to change your financial future, you could cut down to one show instead of two, right? Or cut down a little bit, or get up 15 minutes earlier and go to sleep 15 minutes later. Just 15 minutes, right? Change your routine a little bit. Or instead of taking an hour lunch, take a half-hour lunch and use half hour to study. I'm not telling you to go do this or how to run your life or what to do or not to do. I'm just giving you examples of small changes you can make that can make a huge difference and give you the opportunities you want to
Hey,
get
Will,
stuff done.
if somebody has time to sit on this webinar, if they have enough time to do this business.
Great point, Jason. Absolutely great point. Watch less webinars, right? When you're doing this, when you're focused. Now, be very happy that you were here for this hour and a half, because it is something that can potentially change your life if you take the opportunity and you actually do the work. I will tell you that when we first started doing this, we worked with a lot of people that did not have time. And I will tell you that you can do this in 20 minutes a day. If you have 20 minutes a day, if you can literally get up 20 minutes early and focus. Now, it's not 20 minutes of checking email, of just BSing around. It's focused 20 minutes of getting stuff done. Watch a video one day, and then the next morning you go and you actually don't watch more videos. You do the work that the video taught you to do, and you are absolutely focused. Now, if you only have 20 minutes a day to do this, it's going to take you several months to get it done. It's going to take you 4 to 5 months to go through and actually get a product online and start selling. But guess what? If you don't do this, where are you going to be 4 or 5 months from now, right? If you have an hour or two a day, of course, it's going to be a heck of a lot faster for you. But it doesn't matter what your situation is or how much time you have. The point is that you need to get started, because otherwise, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, you're going to be in the same place. And then when somebody comes around, whether it's us or somebody else that tells you, hey, you can do this, and it's going to be 3 to 6 months, then you're talking about half a year, and then soon you're talking about a year from now and 2 years from now. Time just goes by really fast. Jason, it's really, really interesting, this human phenomenon, or this human nature of thinking that, boy, if something's going to take a month or 2 or 3, that is such a long time. But when they've actually accomplished a goal in 2 or 3 months, and they look backwards a year or 2 or 5 years from now, and they tell themselves like, wow, it took 3 months to get that done. It just doesn't seem that long when you look backwards. So allow yourself the opportunity to do it and look backwards to see that it's just an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing thing that you can get accomplished in so little time. Otherwise, again, you may be looking down the road 6 months from now and have nothing, right? Jason, there was another follow-up question on the selling other people's products that they buy via wholesale versus private labeling. So I wanted to address that. One more point real quick, because I think you've done an amazing job answering that. But one of the other points is when you sell other people's products on Amazon, you're working to build somebody else's brand. You may be making some money selling a product and capturing the profit, but what you're not doing is you're not generating an asset. When you create a brand with a private label product, you have literally manufactured an asset out of nothing. You've created a brand. That brand will have value over time. Brands can become amazingly valuable in and of themselves. When you're selling somebody else's branded product, there's no value. You're not creating an asset. You just have a job, right? When you're creating a brand, you can sell that brand in the future. You can pass that brand and that business along to your children and your grandchildren. Otherwise, if you're selling other people's products, you're just creating a job for yourself. So you absolutely want to private label. This is the best thing that you can do. Jason, here's the other question. I would bet a lot of money that you know what the question is going to be or the comment, but I want to read it. It says, I wish I could do this because it sounds like it would make a real difference in my life, but money is really tight right now. And then she says, so sad. We've
Yeah, so let's
addressed this
make your
hundreds
money
of times.
loose. Yeah. Let's untighten that money
Make
so
your
it's not
money
so
loose.
tight anymore, right?
You're
No, I'm
so literal,
serious.
Jason.
Well, I mean, because what is money anyway? Money comes and goes. Sometimes you have a lot, sometimes you don't have so much, right? But guess what is lacking more than money in almost every instance? It's opportunity. And I'm not talking about run of the mill everyday opportunity because you can open up your Facebook news feed and be inundated with opportunity. I'm talking about true one of a kind opportunity. And if you're sitting here and you're sweating bullets because you're like, damn, I want this so bad, but I can't justify it because I don't have the money, right? Then I'm telling you what, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and lacking the money is the least of your problems. And I say that with all the love and care in the world. What you really need to do is switch over and figure out a way to be resourceful. What you lack in resources, you can make up in resourcefulness. Because again, I didn't say, wow, I need a bed before I can start my business. I slept on the floor. That's called sacrifice, right? So do you want this enough to sacrifice in other areas? And we've had plenty of people, Will. In fact, there is a strong correlation of our successful people who also were the ones that said they didn't have the money. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
noticed that.
When that money means so much to you, when that amount means so much to you, you're not going to allow yourself to just waste it. So that means you're more likely to go through the course and do the work because then you're going to make that money count. And that's the strong correlation that you're talking about, Jason. Those people that have a harder time coming up with the investment are going to take it more seriously. Now, that doesn't mean that those of you who $1,000 has come easy aren't going to do it. It just means that your intentions are going to be different. And I hope that those of you that $1,000 comes easy for still do this and still make it count, because then you can make $100,000 seem easy, and someday $1,000,000 seem easy, right? You just keep adding zeros to this. And this is what the hope for us. It doesn't matter whether you want to be a multimillionaire doing this, or you just want to make a few extra thousand a month to make ends meet and be able to take a vacation or something like that. It doesn't matter what it is. This is an amazing opportunity that can do that for you, but you have to apply it. It's amazing how resourceful human beings can be, right? We've had people. I had an individual about 3 years ago. He said, I have one prized possession left, and this is my prized possession of my entire life, and I've had this for decades. And it was some kind of special guitar. I don't know if it was a signed guitar or some autographed guitar or some special guitar. He said, I'm going to join this course, and I'm going to make it count, and I'm going to be successful, and I don't care what I have to pay. I'm going to get that guitar back, but I'm going to get much more than that guitar back, and this is why I'm going to do it. So he found a way to do it.
You sold the
We've
guitar.
had individuals selling cars, right, Jason, to be able to
Yeah, I
do
remember
this.
that. Yeah, I remember all these stories.
I'm not telling you to go do this to sell your car or to sell your house or whatever. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to go do this. This is an individual's choice. I'm just sharing stories of what people have done and that it's paid off for them. It was good decisions for them to do it. So I just invite you to think outside the box. Maybe you need to have a garage sale this coming weekend. I don't know.
Craigslist is a
Right.
great resource.
Craigslist, sell some
No, I'm
junk that's in
serious.
your garage that you're not using. I don't know. Just think outside the box is all I can tell you. I can tell you that $1,000, I mean, while it may seem like a lot of money, it's not that much money. All things considered, right? All things considered, it's not that much money. And I bet that anybody on this call, whether you may believe it or not, then it just becomes an issue of belief, which is a whole separate conversation. We can have a little chat about self-belief. But if you were to set your mind to it, I mean, ask yourself, if I had to have a life-saving operation next week and I needed $1,000 in order to do it, what would I do for it, right? And take it with that same seriousness, and I guarantee your brain, your subconscious, your intelligence is going to go work for you, and you're going to figure it out. because
Well,
you will have. Go ahead, Jason.
I can empathize with somebody who is in a tight financial situation right now because I've been there, right?
Oh,
Uh,
so have I. You know that.
we know this, right? I mean, I was a welfare recipient as a kid growing up, right? I know what it's like when it's tough like this. But here's the deal. So here's where I can empathize with you. When you're in a state of lacking, it's hard for you to see anything other than lack. And I get where that's coming from, but the reality is this: I have to break you out of that state to where you think this is a certain way. And some of the ways that we do it is by challenging that very reality that you think is true, that you can't afford it. But the point of it is this: you change your focus. I'm just asking you to change your focus from I can't to what would it take for me to do it. Now, here's the beauty of changing your focus. You ready for this? All of a sudden everything changes, your momentum changes, so that attitude carries over into the course. So when you sign up and you take this new attitude of I'm going to find a way to make one, all of a sudden you're now finding a way and making it work on Amazon. This is why the people that it's the hardest to start typically are the first ones to see success. Now over time the distribution curve is very high on success because it's not a win or lose, it's a when do I win type of situation, right? It's how fast can I win. And by the way, this isn't a race, this is a journey. And so it's just a matter of time of whether you take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. I really don't care because your life is going to change forever. At the end of the day, you could have to squint to see the difference between a month or 3 on the timeline, right? But what's most important is taking it. You only lose if you don't start. Because you can start, you could get on the inside and take a look around and say, not for me. And you know what? I respect that. But I don't respect somebody who sits around on the outside and says, what if? Because listen, in life, we all face one of 2 pains. You face it, I faced it, everybody with a heartbeat faces it. You ready for these pains? Either have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You will taste one of these pains in your life. The pain of discipline is, yeah, it's going to be a little tough to make the money happen to get going on this. The pain of discipline is, yeah, I'm going to have to figure out a way to put the time in place to do this. The pain of discipline is I have to do something different than what I've become familiar and grown accustomed to. That's the pain of discipline, right? You know what the pain of regret is? 10 years from now being in the same financial situation you are. Saying I've had 10 years to progress in my experience in this human condition, and I have failed miserably. I'm the same. That's the pain of regret. The pain of regret is waking up 10 years later and saying, not only am I not any close to retiring, I'm farther away. I've been running in the wrong direction. I thought I was climbing the ladder of success, but it was leaning on the wrong building. And that's the pain of regret. And I will tell you, spending money on something and seeing if it works out or not and putting a little bit of discipline, at least you will never have regret because you gave it a fair shot. You gave it a go. I'm asking you to give it a go. And people on the outside might criticize and they might say, Jason, you're hard selling these people. Jason, you're coming across as desperate because if this thing was so good, why would you still be here pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing it? And I'm going to challenge that and I'm going to flip that back there. Who else is going to bat for you like this? Who else is willing to push and challenge you? Who else is willing to take that extra time to make that work? That's an attitude I've adopted since I started making my first dollar online. It's an attitude Will's adopted since we started making our first dollars online together. And damn it, it's an attitude I'll continue to adopt for the rest of my life because that's successful. I push because I care, because I know I have something that can change your life. I see you as a person who's going to die in the next 24 hours unless I can administer my solution. And I'm figuring out every possible way that I can get this in your hands in a way that will make you successful. You have to earn it though. I'm asking you to take 1 step forward and then I'll take 10 steps on your behalf. Your first step is to go to that URL right now. Let's get started, okay? Let's quit screwing around with each other. You know you want it. I know you want it. Let's just make it happen. Let's go, because the less time we have to spend, flirting with this idea, the more time we can spend with getting it done and seeing what the results are.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if it seems like we're passionate about this, it's because we are, because we've seen the lives that have been changed. I'm talking about lives of people that we know that are close friends. I'm talking about lives of family members, because I've pushed family members and the best friends to do this, and it's made a difference in their lives. It's made their lives better. So we're here because we want to continue doing that. This is the best business opportunity. I've been online, Jason. I've been doing business online, as you know, since 1994. I mean, I'm going to be going on 25 years of online business experience next year, right? And I've never, ever, ever seen an opportunity that is this incredible, this predictable when it comes to having people succeed. And this is why we're so passionate about this. Never in my life before have I pitched or have I pushed a family member or a loved one or a friend to pursue, because I knew it wasn't within their interests usually, right? But I don't care what their interest level was. I don't care if they knew or cared about Amazon. I pushed everybody that I absolutely could. I got many, many, many friends doing this. I couldn't get them all. I mean, you can't get everybody, right?
Yep.
Some of them are going to be skepticals regardless, but the ones that I could reach, I had them do it, and it's made a difference. And this is why we're so passionate. This is why we continue to try and get people to see the value of the opportunity and try to see what a difference it can make. This is why we're here over 2 hours into this. Jason, I think we've answered all the questions. Besides all the public ones we've answered questions in the chat box. I don't have anything else. I mean, we've done, I believe, what we can to help people see the opportunity out. There is one more here. Somebody trying to sign up and had some kind of PayPal glitch or credit card glitch with payment. If you have any issues whatsoever placing your order, write to support@rapidcrush.com. That again is support@rapidcrush.com. If you just go to that page, that URL on your screen, you can also find a link at the very bottom of the page to our support. We have folks that are going to help you extremely fast. We offer the #1 support system in the industry. We have people almost 24/7. You're going to get replies so fast, it's going to blow your mind when it comes to our support. Bar none, we are the best support in the industry. We're known for that. Besides being known for helping people start Amazon businesses, everybody knows us about our support. We're here for you. So if you have any questions about payments or any issues with getting your payment to go through or accessing the members area or anything at all, just write to support@rapidcrush.com and our staff is there to help you. Jason, an incredible webinar. I can see here that people are making great decisions to join us, and I wish you success. And if you're on the fence, we'll send out the recording of this and watch it again and make a decision before the timer on that page expires, because hey, it's going to save you money. And most importantly, the faster you get started, the faster you're going to see results.
Excellent. We'll talk soon.